Hey everybody, I have been doing some research into Joe Manchin, and there has been some really interesting information that's been coming out. Now, he is a major shill for the pharmaceutical company, and as everybody knows, his daughter Heather Bresch is the CEO that jacked the prices up on the EpiPens and, got into a big heap of trouble over that. But not only that, back in 2007, I'm going to read this article to you. It's from Business Insider. It's by Christina Sturbins. The title is, "The CEO of EpiPen maker Mylan once claimed she had an MBA that she never earned." Drug maker Mylan has come under fire this week for price increases upward of 500% since 2009 to epinephrine auto-injector EpiPen. As it turns out, this isn't CEO Heather Bresch's first brush with controversy. In 2008, WVU stripped her of an MBA that she claimed she earned. The situation began when the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette made a routine call to verify Bresch's credentials as the new head of Mylan. Accusations of political cronyism and the resignation of 3 WVU faculty members followed. In 2007, the press release announcing Bresch's ascension to CEO noted that she earned an MBA and an undergraduate in international studies and political science from WVU. By December, however, the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette reported that WVU awarded Bresch the MBA after only rewriting documents that originally showed she completed approximately half the credits necessary for the degree. Initially, WVU told the Post-Gazette that Bresch did not have an MBA, but several days later insisted that she earned one in 1998 and blamed the discrepancy on poor record keeping and later an unpaid fee. Throughout the Post-Gazette's inquiry, the university and Bresch maintained that she earned her MBA at the university, while professors, classmates, and even friends cast doubt, some fears for their jobs after speaking out. The Post-Gazette's inquiry also revealed several big names in the West Virginia political community tied to Bresch. Most notably, her father, Joe Manchin, held the governorship, but Bresch also went to high school with WVU President Mike Garrison, and the college's largest benefactor, Mylan Puskar, chaired Mylan at the time. Soon after the accusations, the university commissioned a special panel to look into Bresch's degree. The panel's report, released in 2008, found that Ms. Bresch did not earn an MBA at WVU. While the panel called the decision seriously flawed and reflecting poor judgment, the members did not think it revealed flaws in WVU's record keeping, as the university initially claimed. The panel also found that the university knew these excuses were false. Finally, the panel revealed the primary reason why the university gave Bresch the MBA. A conversation she had with Craig Walker, the president's chief of staff, after the registrar provided a statement to the Post-Gazette that Bresch hadn't in fact earned her degree. After word spread that WVU administrators had erroneously awarded a degree to the governor's daughter that she hadn't earned, Garrison Provost Gerald Lang and Business School Dean R. Stephen Sears resigned. Bresch's current LinkedIn profile lists her education as a bachelor's degree in international studies and a political studies from WVU University, but no MBA. Mylan's bio of Bresch also doesn't mention an MBA. Neither Mylan, WVU, nor Joe Manchin's press team responded to Business Insider's request for a comment. Bresch, however, told Fortune in 2015, "I certainly to this day believe I did everything I needed to do to get my degree." So, it's not only her, it's not only, Manchin, but then, WVU has some very shady business dealings, and Mylan runs a lot up there at WVU. They have the Mylan Park. There's, the football stadium is named, it's the Mylan football stadium. They also have, the Friends of Coal Bowl that they do. It's pretty gross, the money, where they get their money from. So, that's his daughter and him. And, I suggest, I'll put the links for all these things in the description, but check out Jamarl Thomas's newest video on Joe Manchin. He talks about the Saudi arms deal that he helped get through. He was one of 5 Democrats that voted for it. And I don't know why. It's just like Joe Manchin just like hates poor people. You know, it's like bomb the people in Yemen. You know, make sure you kill all those poor people. Make sure you poison the poor people in West Virginia. I mean, he's despicable. He's absolutely despicable. But I also found out about his uncle. See, I'm still new to the local politics. I'm still researching. And apparently his uncle was, let's see, I think he was a delegate. I found an article on New York Times back in 1989. And it says, let's see. It's written by Anise Wallace. Titled Treasurer of West Virginia Retires Over Funds Losses. Now this is Joe Manchin's uncle in 89. So after 41 years in politics, A. James Manchin retired yesterday as the treasurer of West Virginia, ending a saga that illustrates the problems state officials face when they try to compete in financial markets with highly skilled and well-paid professional investors. By resigning, Mr. Manchin avoided a bitter impeachment trial on the state Senate that had been scheduled for this week. The West Virginia House of Delegates had voted in March to impeach him. A loss of $279 million in an investment fund and allegations of a cover-up had led a majority of the 99 delegates to charge the treasurer with incompetence, negligence, and other high crimes and misdemeanors. I see the handwriting on the wall, said Mr. Manchin, who can collect an annual pension of $24,000. I'm 62 and it's time to say goodbye. Mr. Manchin, a Democrat who was elected in 1984, called the 17 articles of impeachment asinine and nebulous. He is leaving at a time when investigations into the investment fund are continuing. Last month, the state's Attorney General hired 2 law firms to determine whether West Virginia could sue as many as 40 Wall Street firms that profited from the $2.5 billion fund's almost 7,000 transactions in 1987 when the losses occurred. Meanwhile, investigations have been conducted by the United States Attorney, the State Securities Division, and the Securities and Exchange Commission in Washington. Mr. Manchin has testified before a grand jury investigating the matter. Plans are also being made to turn over the management of the fund to an outside financial institution. The governor, Gaston Caperton, yesterday named State Senator Thomas E. Loehr, Loehr, to complete Mr. Manchin's term, delegating responsibility. During his term, Mr. Manchin showed little interest in financial matters, preferring instead to delegate to others his responsibility as a member of a 3-person investment board that oversees the $1.2 billion investment fund. Mr. Manchin enjoyed judging beauty contests, serving as a parade marshal, and distributing medals to West Virginians who reached the age of 100. That don't happen anymore. Not with all the chemicals that we're breathing and drinking and eating. I don't know anybody who could even come close to 100 around here. In testimony in January before the West Virginia House Judiciary Committee, Mr. Manchin showed little familiarity with the operations of his office. For instance, he could not tell the committee whether his office prepared a daily profit and loss statement. He also said he did not know the use of parentheses around figures in accounting indicated a loss instead of a profit. I'm not a lightweight, but I'm also not a financial genius, Mr. Manchin said in an interview in March, shortly before the House impeachment vote. Investments are risky, and it takes almost a genius to take care of investments. Mr. Manchin has repeatedly blamed his subordinates for his investments that resulted in the losses and state auditors for not finding them earlier. I'm not guilty of anything except delegating authority, he said. Starting in 1975, the Consolidation Investment Fund... That must be a typo. Let's see. I won't read the whole thing to you because it's very long. But, yeah. I mean, this isn't... So it's not just Joe Manchin. I mean, it's this whole family. It's the whole family. And he's not the only one with a, corrupt family history. you've also got, you know, Shelley Moore Capito. Her dad was the governor back, I can't remember the dates, but he like blackmailed some of the coal companies and ended up, you know, he ended up going to prison. And she's a big shill for the coal industry. So, I mean, you've got two people, you know, or two, you know, it's bad. It's bad. And they're not, I mean, they're just some of the examples. I mean, money rules everything here. Coal, you know, rules everything. And now it's the pharmaceutical industry because coal's dying. So, you gotta get that money somewhere. But, yeah, I'll put the links for everything in the description. Thanks for listening.